Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today taking flights in the Cessna CitationJet CJ4 on a flight from here in Northolt to Zurich, so flying from London to Switzerland, and today taking our first look at the working Title CJ4 mod. So it's out for a little while. It works in similar to the A32X project and the Swizerland 747, where basically it's a cockpit upgrade for the default CJ4, with all new systems, all new graphical interface, all new FMS, all that kind of stuff. So we'll take the aircraft detail today, take on a flight today, about 1 hour and 20 minutes from here to Zurich, so it should be pretty good as well. And hopefully it should be a pretty good flight overall. So jump to cockpit and set ourselves up for flying today. We're in Netjets colour today, Netjets Europe, so hopefully it should be a pretty good trip. Start off first of all with the batteries. So battery comes on, avionics come on. The aircraft do its self-test startup. Make sure that the throttles are working this time, which they are, thank goodness for that. Yeah, so this time I've worked on the livery a bit to get rid of that conflict I had earlier on, and so hopefully this time we should now fly it without any problems whatsoever. Right, let's get going, shall we? So flying from Northolt today, Echo Golf Whiskey uniform. Doesn't work, so what we're going to do is do it, I guess, the long way around, which should be going to flight plan, start departure route, which is Echo Golf uniform. There's our arrival up destination, which is Lima Sierra Zulu Hotel. Plug that in. We'll go back to the position. Take that string of text there, the position for Northolt, and paste it into set position. So now that basically sets this location as Northolt, aligns the IRS and make sure all systems now in their correct positions and points us in the right direction. Right, we will go back to flight plan, we'll start putting the waypoints, but first things first, let's greet our passengers today, shall we? So we are flying from Northolt to Zurich. We are 1 India 24, 41,000 feet cruising today, level 410, taking it right up to cruise today, which is pretty good. Flight in 1 hour and 20, departure in approximately 26 minutes. The Titan CJ4 with 7 people on board. We will go to the next page. We do get Wi-Fi, do get entertainment. Body music and safety, we'll leave it to the default sim to take care of that. There are snacks, there are meals on a private jet, of course. And so, with our 4 luxury service on the aircraft today, get started. Let's see our lucky passengers. We've got Leah, Sibella, Maurice, Karina, Adam, Ralph and Regina, all travelling on their private jet today. 9 seats, you've got a flight attendant seat at the back as well, and hopefully the CJ4 should give us a rather good trip today. So we've got the 4 cabin to explore, we've got the 4 aircraft. There you go, ready to go, everyone's already on board. Here in the Northolt. So this, by the way, is the Northolt Jet Centre, which is owned by London City Airport and is the executive branch of the city airport. So I think Northolt gets around something like 1,800, 2,000 private jets a year. Netjets operate the majority of those, and so we're flying Netjets colours today and should get ourselves quite a good little trip in today. There's the Northolt Jet Centre, owned by London City Airport. Right, flight plan. Let's get this over and done with. So our first waypoint today will be Delta Echo Tango, Det. Next page. From Det we fly the Uniform Lima 6. Mismatch, so we'll skip that and go straight to Delta Victor Romeo, DVR. And then we fly the Uniform Lima 9 to Conan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight 01 with service to Zurich.
Let's complete that one for the UK. Then it's Uniform Lima 607, which is our crossing into continental Europe today, into Remba. Uniform Mike 624. What's going on there? Conan, I'm not quite sure where the rest of that flight plan came into things. Let me clear those a second. Conan to Remba. Ah, is that Uniform Lima 607? Okay, that makes sense. Just jumping on here. So Uniform Lima 607. into Remba. The uniform Lima 607's the airway is... The airways that popped up a moment ago. Remember, we fly uniform Mike 624. Okay, that's better. It stayed as an airway this time and not dropping the flight plans in. There's no match for 624, so we'll skip that. Fly directs to Ritax. And then it's the uniform Tango 27. Our final waypoint of Bravo Lima Mike. That's got a choice. We check the choice is Bravo Lima Mike is 4707, 4707. First one there, 4707, input that. Execute that, and flight plan is complete. Right. So far so good, aircraft's looking pretty good at the moment. We are departing out of a modded Northolt, so this is a Flight Sim .2 scenery we're using right now. And as for Zürich, I don't remember if I got a mod of that or not. I think it may be defaulted to the other side. We'll fill the aircraft up with fuel. Try calling the fuel truck, doesn't seem to work, so I'll just do it from the menu. Fuel on board the aircraft today is going to be 3,117 pounds of fuel, 3117, which if we bring that up, 3169, 3111, so yeah, 35%, sorry, 55%, 3169. We'll carry just a little bit excess, so bring it up to 65% just in case. So 3745, we should do quite nicely. Perfect. Flight plan's plugged in. We'll now go for our departure, which is runway 25 today on the det 4 Yankee. 25, det 4 Yankee, input that. Give it a moment to load, there we go. Execute that, departure is now set. We will go into our performance page now. We'll get the performance on the departure today, which is going to be over... Where is it? Performance, there we go. Performance visualization, cruising at flight level 410, 41,000 feet. Set up our VNAV setup, so transition UK, which is in London airspace, is 6,000. And finally, our takeoff performance, which is going to be as follows. Temperature right now in London, we'll quickly grab that off of the meter. Have a quick listen to that.
Winds 200 at 11 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers. Temperature 10 degrees Celsius. Dew point 7 degrees Celsius. Altimeter 1008. Few clouds at 4,200 feet. Broken layer at 12,000 feet. Winds 200 at 11 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers. Temperature 10 degrees Celsius. Dew point 7 degrees Celsius. Altimeter 1008. Few clouds at...
One thing worth noting is that the winds are right now 14 knots, heading 200, gusting 25. So it's up to 25 knot winds right now in the world, which is pretty hefty, I must say. Apart from that, should be pretty good. Flight panels set up, performance all set up, the aircraft arms aware is now ready to go. On nav lights and local lights, just so ground can actually see the aircraft slowly come to life. Beacon lights will turn on momentarily when we're ready for engine startup. We'll now prepare the aircraft for our pathing today, so it's runway 25 for departure. Taking taxiway Bravo, holding points of runway 25, running at stand 502. Departure is on the det 4 Yankee, transition 6 flight level 600. We confirm that there's no ATC in the air right now, so if we have a look at the IVAO website, everything's surrounded. We've got Stansted, Luton, Heathrow and Gatwick. But sadly, while technically within the Heathrow tower range, Northolt is a separate tower. Therefore, unfortunately, yeah, we don't quite get to speak to anyone today. We may change to Heathrow just in case, we may need to listen to any frequencies. Our departure does take us to the north and around London, therefore we're avoiding the major airspaces around us. But we'll possibly tune in just in case we need a flight following. Other than that, it should just be standard 122 simulate for Unicom. We'll set the altitude to flight level 410, 41,000 feet for cruising right now. Go up to 41,000. Set the flight director to active. VNAV and LNAV do work in the CJ4, so we'll be listening to that. The throttle does have steps as well, so we'll go to takeoff power, back into climb, back into cruise. Apart from that, I think we're now pretty much ready to go. There's nothing else that comes to mind in regards to aircraft setup, so we'll jump down, turn on the beacon lights. Passenger lights I think do work actually, yes, there go, seatbelt sign and safety lights. Let's turn on the engine, shall we? So we'll turn on the engine right starter. We'll wait for the N2 to hit 12. And 11, 12, engine 2, open the door, run and close. The cabin lady will now do her safety briefing. Very nice cabin this aircraft has. Very nice cabin indeed. Welcome Matt from Work Title. How are you doing, man? Hopefully if I'm doing anything wrong, you can be our saviour. Make sure we're doing everything correctly. Set the map mode to flight following, there we go. The departure takes us on an immediate right hand turn to the east, sorry, to the north even. Make a right, cross through St Albans. That's Heathrow. Well, Heathrow's on 5 mile mark just to our left there, if I zoom in slightly to the map. Heathrow's just on the 5 mile mark, and therefore we can try and avoid the airspace, go through Bluton instead. Engine 1 is active and stable. We'll now run the starter for engine 2. The N2 to warm up. And engine left starts. Why when is larger than a business jet? It just comes to its design, really, Diego. Comes down to its design. Smaller body with a smaller shell, and therefore does have the space for larger windows. So, now we're waiting for the starter to shut down. Let me activate the pitot heats without it popping up on the ECAM display there. Now the engine starts to do its thing. We'll leave the anti-ice running for the sake of the aircraft not freezing the moment you start moving today. There we go, electric systems now on display. Engines started and stable. We will announce that we're going to taxi to the runway here at Northolt. So 12.8 on Unicom, that's correct. When you change frequency, I believe it's under tuning. 12.8 you can plug it into there. So we'll announce 0.25, parking brake released, increased throttle, and let's get going. On the taxi lights, just for the sake of, well, being visible. So, Northolt Aerodrome, it's London's private airport, and also an active RAF base. I think it's the biggest active RAF base within the London M25 zone as well. Next to Ruislip, by the Metropolitan line and Piccadilly line, so the Central line I believe as well. Also where the royal family fly out of as well in their BAE 145. V-Speed's good pointer, Ricky. If we do that now, so if we head over to performance quickly. Performance, go over to takeoff, next page. V-Speed's there, we'll send that in progress, and that will now send the V-Speeds to our display there. Thank you very much. Hold position, announce that we're crossing, and then we'll confirm the, well, so there you go, 97, rotate 99, V2, 112, and then take off at, VT at 140. Complete send, thank you very much. We'll announce that we're going to cross runway 25 now, so Echo Golf Whiskey Uniform Traffic. Crossing runway 25 onto Alpha. lining up and taking off runway 25 with its departure. So here at Northolt, you have taxiway Bravo and taxiway Alpha. We're currently on Bravo, now crossing the runway. This is runway 25 over here, and in front of us is Alpha, which is a backtracking loop, but for smaller aircraft, because it's much shallower, much smaller compared to the main taxiway on right now. And therefore, for the smaller aircraft, it's easier to taxi ahead, make a right and onto the runway. But for larger aircraft, they do need to backtrack on the runway itself, and definitely need to do a U-turn on the runway at the end. But as we're in the smaller aircraft, it just makes life a bit easier to cut across into Alpha. So far so good, CAD bin with 97 and satisfaction. Hopefully our takeoff power will have that as well. Since we've already announced our takeoff intention on the Unicom, we should be free to just enter the runway now and immediately take off without any traffic impeding on our path. As always, we'll be visual, make sure that nobody is on the runway. It's the landing lights and strobes. All looks good. Throttle up to 40. 1 and 2 are stable. Onto the takeoff position. 99 knots rotate today. One. Rotates. 25 knot gust at the moment. Climb gear up. Flap retract. Pitch for that 10 degrees of climb and make the right hand turn. Now SID out. Just throttle into the climb position. Nose down slightly, going for a bit of a steep camera right now, just to trim for that. It's a very nimble aircraft, this CJ4. Could be very careful with it. Too much movement, especially right now with cloud, spatial disorientation, do cause you a few problems. Not silly in working with the aircraft on its performance. Very capable aircraft this, very capable, very fun to fly. Good, we're going to power back into the takeoff position. Gives that extra bit of boost. Level the airplane off now for first waypoint. We'll switch over to the navigation. Mode on, LNAV sets. Oh, we're in the aircraft went away there with the climb. We readjust my trim slightly. You can tell this is not my it's not my usual aircraft, it's not my go-to. Be very careful with it. Don't want to let it run away from you. Passing through 6,000, stand down 10 minutes out, set. Make a right hand turn shortly at Alphont. Should do for quite selective, there we go. Over to the VNAV. Set it to V-pitch. I'm a certain amount I want with this. There we go. So reduce that to around 2,000 feet per minute. The aircraft works its way through that. It's a lot of work, this aeroplane. It's a lot of work. Even now, I'm not quite for the landing systems. We'll turn off the landing lights. We'll turn off the logo lights. Didn't need that above 10,000 feet. You are right, Andy. It's a very powerful aircraft. This really got to be careful with how it all operates. Eventually, I want the aircraft to be able to climb on speed, so it'll be a flight level climb mode rather than vertical speed mode. Find the flight level climb mode. That does make life a little bit easier. We'll reduce climb to about 2,000 feet per minute. Breaking the cloud, always nice to see. Aircraft looking very good indeed with the climb out to this point. Passing through flight level 135, 30,500. But hey, for scenes like this, you can't fault it. You really can't fault it. Aircraft is holding now. No more satisfaction, so not done too much wrong, fortunately. Reduce the... we'll zoom out on the map a bit so get more of the view of the departure path for the UK as well as the Netjets departure path. 4 miles on next waypoints, Delta 244 Foxtrot. Right, throttle back to climb. And set the speed. There you go, flight level climb now. That'll hold it at 300 knots. Got there in the end. Got there in the end. 3 stats to the maximum, so up to 300. Airspeed alarm coming into play there. Resets the little climb. That's that to meet current capabilities. We'll go up to 290, I'd say. 290. Continue to 1000. You can tell this is not my go-to aircraft. It's certainly one that I need to learn a bit more. To be fair, when I was doing this on my own time, I was doing this perfectly. Now that I'm streaming, of course it goes horribly wrong. Go back to flight level climb, but it's not going to continue climbing from there. Yes, this is the work Title CJ4, which is heavily modified. Set a flight level climb to 240. I'll do that, so flight level climb 240. And that's doing it now. Yeah, there we go. Right, continue climb. Let's see where it goes from there. Like I say, this is not my go-to aircraft. I do apologise to the work Title team for slightly messing up the takeoff there. As long as passing satisfaction's alright, at the very least we haven't messed up too badly. I'm sure as time goes on, as I practice the aircraft more, get more used to the systems, this is an airplane I'll definitely do a lot more flying with in the future, as it's a lot of fun. It's a very nimble aircraft. The modelling, I mean for a default aircraft, is very good indeed. Yeah, it's just overall a very fun little aeroplane. Similar cruiser tent set to climb. We should be in climb. Yeah, we are in the cruise position. I'm very smoothly at 214, even convert to Mach number to a pro attitude. Ah, very nice. Yeah, we'll let the aircraft do its own thing at 240, and then we'll take over later on. Got some traffic down below there. Red and white flashing lights. That's an aircraft heading towards us underneath the nose. Soon be past, well, soon be shooting past 8,000 feet, climbing at a rate of just 5,200 feet per minute at this point. 19,000. 19.1, 19.2, 19... That's 100 feet a second right now. That's amazing climb performance for an aeroplane. So you now climb. You can see on the MFD, the N1, which, and then climb through... Aha, okay, so... Takeoff, climb... Right, okay, I get you now. I get you. Roger that. We're past through 20,000 feet now. Continuing climb out. We'll soon to arrive at the Bravo Papa Kilo waypoint. Make a right hand turn. That brings us on towards Det. From Det, it's the path over the channel into continental Europe. Well, it's about 1 hour and 20 minutes flight fan. 1 hour 20, so we'll be landing at around 20 past... maybe like half past 10 or so. What did you get there? I'm enjoying it so far. I'm enjoying it. The approach currency is fantastic. Took a bit of setting up on my system to make sure it doesn't crash my PC every so often. But now that I've got the settings right where I need them to be, I like it. It's a lot of fun. Very enjoyable indeed. Just saying that the UK is always so foggy, so cloudy, and the weather's always so bad, you can barely see it half the time. That's fine, man, but this is the Drawyah channel, not the Swiss channel. Did you take over the motorway? Yes, we did, Hedgehog. So we took off from runway 25, which takes us over the M40. I believe it's the one that goes through Northolt, the M40. Yes, Sandy, I did figure out the issue with my system lockups. My overclocking was not liking the update, so as I've always said, if your system starts freezing in Microsoft Flight Sim and you're overclocking, reduce your memory clock and that fixes all your system crashes. So in my case it was an issue with the memory clock, which I've tuned back now quite a bit and no longer crashing at every instance. So I am overclocking less, but rather good. Do you live near Northolt, do you, Tal? Very nice. So I'm sure you'd recognise a lot of the departure path today. We enter the cloud. He's passed through 25,000 feet. We should be going for the cloud break soon. Pretty much pristine blue skies the rest of the way to Switzerland. Zurich weather. If we have a look at the weather at Zurich right now, we're expecting no clouds, actually. Variable at 1 knot, so there's no wind. Visibility okay, it's 1 degree centigrade, 2.0, QH1021. So actually the weather right now in Zurich is perfect. To improve as the flight goes on. It should continue to stay clear throughout the rest of our trip. No more pixelation, no more graininess. The clouds are finally pristine again, Microsoft Flight Sim. Top speed, I believe the top speed of the airplane's Mach 0.87, if I recall correctly. Mach 0.87, something like that. You'd have to double check. But we're going to a cruising altitude of flight level 410 today, 41,000 feet, which is high in the sky and well above anything else that's in the airspace. Yeah, you can see our departure path got a little bit rough at times, but it has now stabled out and it's a very steady climb all the way up to 41. Now heading towards the heading south towards Nepna. That's the aircraft just down the same path. So going from Stansted to Gatwick, that one, Thompson 17 Papa. Slightly different path, unfortunately. How many miles? It's 427 nautical miles today. 427 nautical miles from start to finish. A bit frosty on the edges, but not terrible. The anti-ice does seem to do its thing. One more tip, don't climb using VNav, it's almost never used in the real world, just flies in vertical speed in initial climb on the start. Use flight level climb, so 240.64 to fly to cruising altitude. Roger that, Chris. Thank you for the tips. Yeah, the aircraft lab noted is definitely performing a lot better on flight level climb right now, and therefore likely sticks to that for the entire of our trip today. Katie Long's flight ever. At some stage we will do, Dara. At some stage we will do, but that day is not today. It's Wednesday. It's middle of the week. Not sure about the A320 autopilot there, GLT. Use the A320 Next mod. It's a mod that massively improves the default A320. Yes, you can turn off visualizing dev modes. However, dev mode also kills your logbook functionality, so you can't actually track your flights in the dev mode. At least with anti-icing turned on, for me, it's something that I can kind of remember back in my mind. Is anti-icing turned on? Is that part of the checklist? It's something I actually technically prefer over just having no icing. I mean, no sim previously has ever had icing to this level of detail, and while it's a bit overkill at times, so much better than anything else we've had so far. No, it doesn't look too bad. It's only on the leading edges right now, the icing. Yes, so if you have the dev mode turned on, your logbook no longer logs your flights, so your hours will never increase. Passing through, soon to pass through flight level 320, 32,000 feet. Another 9,000 to go to reach our cruising altitude. Now heading towards Det, make a left-hand turn in about 6 miles. Go 5.5, 5.4, 5.3, make a left at Det, onto Delta Victor Romeo. We'll cross the English Channel over Dover, which is that point there. Delta Victor Romeo is Dover. Towards Conan, which is our first point over Europe. And then continue towards Zurich. Yeah, the weather's fantastic in Zurich right now. I've just done the METAR for it. Clouds will see okay. No, well, one knots of wind, no direction on that, so it'll be a very smooth landing today, hopefully. Well, I say smooth landing. Microsoft Flight's going to have changed the the ground effect in the sim, and therefore planes don't actually land the same way now as they did before. So all of a sudden, landings are changed. Something you're going to have to learn from the beginning again. How to get a view in cabin? You can edit the flight sim camera config file to create predefined views within the custom save views within the cabin. So my views are left seat, right seat, engine panel, FMS, back of the plane, left window, right window, and GoPro views. In Microsoft Flight Sim you can save custom viewpoints in the 2X plane, and you can use that as part of your own save defined points. Oh yeah, the UK weather's always like this. Thick cloud cover, it's like 20 something thousand feet. Home, as I call it. Right, left hand turn, now heading towards Dover. It's not been too bad, Manavia. Day's not been too bad. We did the stream at lunchtime today. We're doing a stream now, hopefully. So far, so good. No problems coming up ahead. The working title, working perfect right now. In the up menu, you can select FMS text, shows you your distance, ETA, next waypoints, or shows you expect to see yawned. Ah, very nice. Let's have a look. So we'll go to the upper menu, which is just find everything around. Still, let's say, learn the basics. Menu, refs menu, towards radar. Thank you, Infinite Flight, there for the $5. Much appreciated. Thank you for supporting the channel. You're a star. I'm going to kill my IVAO. There we go. Yeah, we've had about we've had we had 2 streams this morning and 2 streams out. We have 4 streams total, of which 2 might be will stay out live. How do you fix the sim of crashing on a GTX? I'm not sure about 1060, DJ Clark. I'm not sure about 1060. Upper menu is actually on the lower panel. Hang on, I'm still familiarising myself. Can't find a button for there it is. There it is, fair enough. Right, we can then use that to move, can we? Gosh, that is going to be a bit... Oh, no, it drags. You can drag that, very nice. How do you move around? Do you scroll with it? Oh, there you go, scroll with it, so we can do FMS text. We can do checklists. I'm going to do that more in the future. Passenger briefings, if I go back.
May I have your attention, please? We have received indication that we may encounter turbulence.
That's nice. That's very nice.
Please be seated and fasten your lap belt. When the seatbelt sign is turned off, you may again...
Once you have turned off the fasten seatbelt sign,
Thank you.
you cannot get up and move around the cabin. However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when
That's very nice. I like that. Lower menu. Yeah, you got different map modes, so roads. Got arc mode. You've got the plane position and plan mode. So we've got plane position on the left right now. Leave it on the roads mode for hand side, probably. And the more you look at this aircraft, the more small things that now have become available. And it does look very good. It's soon to pass through 40,000 feet now, so cruising at, well, flying right now through 39,700, 39.8. Our speed has dropped a bit there. I think we may have to, sorry, Mach 0.64, that's fine then, to be fair. 40,000. Altitude alarm sounds. We're now approaching the 1,000s towards our altitude set. Then increase the speeds to Mach point, should tell me on the flight plan, should it not? Increase speeds to Mach point 7.6, so we are cruising altitude state. 0.76. And there, allow the aircraft to cruise all the way to Zürich. A bit of turbulence, a bit of a bump, but nothing problematic. Speed up to... Now I'm just going to cruise at altitude, that's fine. Speed need to set. Reduce you into cruising power. as we level off, hopefully, the aircraft continue as normal. We have a text menu when it's cruising. Let's have a look. So lower menu, so upper menu. The next page. So we've got full control of the throttle if we need to speed things up a bit. What I'm wanting to learn is now the cruising setting. It'll start to increase. Hopefully I'll be able to put the rest of that. Above manage heading for right. Heading is just the navigation button. So since you've got the FMS all plugged in, just set nav. And the aircraft will follow your navigation. So you've got LNAV and VNAV. So you get in most commercial jets. One thing that the CJ4 has got, which I do adore. Zoom out. I'm sure it did. Stop the cent marker. Obviously not. Fair enough. I'm sure I had one. Most I'm going crazy. So go to cruise intent and then set the N1 to 104 to speed up to Mach 0.76. Let's have a look. So hang on, so set the speed. So go to cruise intent, we've done that, and set the N1 to 104 and back up to 0.76. Where does one do that? Where does one do that? Can you put this into the... No, Diego, because variable VRB is variable, so use a different meter source or... yeah, use a meter source to figure out which direction the wind is coming in through. The Hangar 978 project was discontinued due to the simulator's encryption for Premium Deluxe and the fact that the 787 by... what's their name? By... no, I mean, I only got their planes. By Quality Wings, it's also releasing, which will be much better than their aeroplane. Oops, that's the overspeed alarm there. Let that down. Chris, you've left me. Can you tell me how to get to the N1 page? Obviously not. I have to manually throttle that. Some way to set the N1 limit to 104 and set the cruiser speeds to Mach 0.6. Probably do it from the FMS. Have a quick look. Performance. We have setups, yeah, 0.64 V40's target speed. That's been set. In this case, translating that into towards the FMS. If I can set the cruise power. Does that work? Just do it manually, worst case scenario, that's not a problem. Yeah, now's the fun bit. Constantly adjusting the throttle, and end up overspeeding. I'll reduce it slightly, I'll do what we need to do, sit back, relax, and let the aircraft do all the work. At 41,000 feet, we're well above the clouds right now, well above any turbulence, well above any weather issues. Very, very smooth aircraft, this. Frame rate, probably the best frame rate because it's such a tiny little aeroplane and very little to render as 320. Apart from that, it's a very, very good looking plane in the first place. We're flying Charlie Sierra Delta Oscar Sierra, which is a CitationJet owned by Netjets Europe. It has had a few flights in and out of Zürich historically as well. I say, no more pixelated clouds. Do look rather good. Very puffy, very neat. Massively improved the fact that it's such a high cruise today. Everything's well, grand up here at the moment. Yes, we're avoiding Paris in our flight plan today because, well, it's cheaper and less problematic to fly through Paris. So our flight plan takes us over Brussels, down to the south of Luxembourg, and skirt the German border and into Zürich today where we land. And so, basically, in Europe, Paris Control's got it's no history of striking a lot, causing delays, and so as a result, a lot of airlines actually avoid French airspace entirely and go around. So, for example, earlier today there was an A318 flight, a former British A318 flying to Paris today. Instead of going to depart from Madrid, instead of going through Paris, it went the long way around, avoided French airspace into Paris. It wasn't Paris, sorry, it would have been Germany then somewhere. But a lot of flight plans do avoid France where possible due to historical issues. We'll see, Bacon Man. We'll see if we do London to Perth this year. If we do, it was the summer. Pilot flight 410 will continue making small adjustments to throttle so we're not going to end up running too slow. Just ask the question, Baker Man, pay attention. You press the yaw damper on the autopilot, but your plane is not stable. During cruise, any idea? Which aircraft, Seedbird? Which aircrafts? Because if it's the aircraft stable at cruise, I presume talking about the yaw damper from the cruise aircraft, probably about one of the large jetliners. So all I can really say is turbulence, really. Turbulence causing small things in your airspace as you go through cruise. How's CJ4? I'm enjoying it, Danny. I'm enjoying it. I've been in a few practice flights with this. I'm not perfect. Fortunately, Chris in the chat's been very helpful in giving me the small tips and tweaks I need to learn how to operate the aeroplane. But it is good. It is good. It's a small, nimble little aircraft. And the work title team have done a fantastic job of getting the systems right. The FMS is pristine, but just overall a very, very fun airplane to fly. It's like a bullet, this thing. It's like a jet fighter. You're on the ground, next thing you know it's 5,000 feet per minute climb, right through everything basically. Well, level 410, pretty high if we need to as well, but we'll stick it at 4.1. Go to the rest of our cruise. This is real world weather right now, T-Money. This is real world weather, currently using live weather set up over Brussels at this point, over Belgium. Yeah, it's a private jet, so fly responsibly. We've got 96% satisfaction in the cabin right now, so our passengers are looking very happy indeed. Around, no toilets in the aeroplane, but it's only there for short flights, this CJ4. It's a 1 hour and 20 minute hop using 2/3 of the fuel tank. 7 passengers, you have one cabin crew lady at the back who's walking around serving the passengers. She sits in the adjustable hidey hole, just back there. So you've got cabin crew there, you've got a spare passenger seat if they need it. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seats in the front. 9 passengers, 1 crew, 2 pilots. We just have a look around the cabin. A very fun little seat down there, I must admit. Let me push back slightly. Yeah, show a map. Little display there for passengers to use. No blinds that open from the bottom. It's a very, very smart looking aeroplane, this. Cup holders, of course. Can't have enough cup holders in these things. In fact, there are a lot of cup holders in this aeroplane. That's everywhere you look. I presume out there's going to be a folded table. You can lift it up for the table in between the 2 seats. Then there's no cockpit door. Everything stays open. You have full view into the very front. Resume behind this is going to be like a coffee making facility. A few drawers and cupboards. Stairs leading onto the door. Very smart plane this. Pretty that's going to be like a little monitor display. Also I can put a few magazines, that kind of stuff. I like it a lot. And the work title mod does magic in the cockpits. Completely rebuilds the aeroplane. Where it's much more close to its lifelike setup. Will they make moving doors for the aircraft? What do you mean by moving doors, Marco? What do you mean by moving doors? Goodbye for the steward. How so, Bacon? You're a steward on a private jet. This is probably the height of your career. Most of the passengers are much more upper class, I guess, than your standard economy class cabin. Business meetings and trips expect it to be, well, very relaxed, very easy back there. Like to have 60 open doors, you can already, Marco. There are mods like the pushback helper, which should allow you to control your doors within the aircraft. On the way to balancement, you can use top wedges. Yeah, so you can use the gravity menu through the aircraft's fuel setup. In fact, show it here, can we? If I put in the fuel, make it a bit wider. There we go. So total gravity now is 18.35%, limits 1450 to 28. We're right in the middle right now, 50% fuel in the aircraft left, 42% payload capacity. The other day did Vancouver to Sydney, you went to bed in the morning, we were about to prepare the aircraft approach, you pushed the button, it wouldn't work, was a 787 fix. Yeah, so if you open up the ATC menu, Anne, just resize it, and that fixes any button clicking issues. There's an issue with the Sims graphical overlay, where it kind of just corrupts your click spots, and therefore you need to kind of reset it. So open the ATC menu, resize it, and it fixes it, so no problem. Data control E, sure. There you go. Doesn't do anything because the engine's already running. How do you enable lights in longitude? So you set the frequency up, and then you activate the approach mode from the NDs. You zoom out on the navigation on our side for now. You're just visible on the end of this 300 mile. Is that 300 miles range? Yes, I believe it is. Yes. 300 mile range at flight level 410. We're going to try and start our descent around, so 41 times 3 is 40, 80, 120. 369. So 120, sorry, 120, 123. So about 123 miles today, top percent, 123 miles. We'll make sure that our approach is also programmed into Unicom for later. We're expecting runway 28 at Zürich, runway 28. Will be via the Bravo Lima Mike 2 Zulu arrival. Bound from the west. The ILS on slat, perfect. The CJ4 is a freeware flash flag. It's been, well, it's a default aeroplane CJ4. It's a default Microsoft Flight Sim plane, and the work title has been out for about 4 months now. But for some reason, it just doesn't get that much coverage on the YouTubes. It's a very good aircraft, a very capable aircraft. One that quite a few people have kind of just forgotten about. I do like it though. I do plan to integrate a bit more on the channel. Maybe something like doing the midweeks. So instead of doing a proper full-length flight, do a shorter private hop from A to B. A few bases in around Europe, you'll see. But I do like it. It's a very capable little aircraft, this. Really negative, manual throttle, so I'm slowly adjusting the throttle every few minutes. So I don't end up doing too fast. Don't to fly too slowly either. They got on the end of its limits. Not doing too bad, Jackson. Not doing too bad. How are you doing? Can you Hawaii Island hops? At some stage we'll do, Anne. Just waiting for our aircraft, either the Boeing 717 for Hawaiian. We could do it in something small. We'll see. We'll see. I do like my jetliners over my Cessna caravans. Not having issues with the 787 pitching up, Travelographer. Not having any of those issues. Welcome, Ronan. How you doing? Welcome, Travelers Jets. How are you? The speed alarm again. I find that sweet spot. The aeroplane, that's what we're looking for. Speeding us up slightly, just 95. Or speeding us up down to 93. Slowing us down, but such a minor slowdown. Push out a little bit to maybe 94. Quite nicely. The CJ4 is in all versions, Bigger J. The CJ4 is in all versions. You have the CitationJet4, which is this one in every version, and the CitationJet Longitude, which is on the Premium Deluxe. But Longitude is a different aircraft entirely. They'll probably cover in later dates as well, than the private jets and that. But yeah, CJ4 is available on all versions of Flight Sim. My title's free sound at the top of that. Descent will be in about, well, we're almost halfway there now. Almost halfway there, so descent, I wouldn't put it too far away. Maybe about 20 minutes or so. It's 120 miles top of descent. Just wait till we get to that 120 mile spots. I'm not a real pilot, no extra, I'm not. I'd love to be, but I just can't afford it. I haven't been able to look at it, but UK update. I like it, Danny. I like it. The photogrammetry is fantastic. The level of detail within London is looking very good, especially from high altitude. And even altitude is pretty good as well. I mean, it's your standard photogrammetry where it's not quite straight lines and as you'd probably expect for like a high def scenery, but for a flight sim that covers the entire world, it's looking very, very good indeed. I like it. It's a few wonky bits here and there, but nothing major. Nothing you can't really complain for. Especially for free updates. There's no news on quality wing 787 just yet. FSM, there's no news on that yet. Still waiting for anything new from that. You can't fly around London anymore. You've just used settings to medium and it still goes to your FPS. Yeah, unfortunately some people now do lose out on it. You can always uninstall the mod, Bigger J. Or at least you can uninstall the individual bits. So for example, you can uninstall the photogrammetry, but you can keep the scenery buildings themselves, 3D buildings. There are small things you can change, so uninstall photogrammetry or uninstall the points of interest, just remove stuff that causes you lag, and keep what works as normal. There's no auto throttle on CJ4 Kilo, there's no auto throttle, you have to do it all manually in your flights. So I've had a few overspeed alarms already, as I'm slowly increasing and decreasing the throttle, but at flight level 410, well, N2 94%, it's turning the airplane down slightly, so we'll increase that to maybe 94.5, or at least how close we can get it with bidirectional throttles. And the airplane from increasing speed too much. Have a look at our map on Volanta. Right now we're just heading over Heron Quilton. We're 1,000 feet, we're well above anything around us at the moment in airspace. towards the UK, you can kind of see where our slightly wonky climb out is. The initial departure out of Northolt. It does not look too bad. Not look too bad at all. Departure's out, made a round turn. Out of St Albans, through Hertford. Chelmsford. Over Canterbury, out through Dover. And on the way. Where we are now. How do you get that view of it? Which view, Kendall? Which view are you trying to look for? We go to update 3, then it's psychological. Which we'll talk about the previous. Very views like Candy, seeing updates. Of course, thanks to your FPS around 10.8 while pushing Heathrow. I've not had that much problem with Flash Frag. Then again, I have had problems with my system actually crashing completely. And so, now that I can run Flight Sim at a decent frame rate without, well, PC crash right in front of me, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. It's better than what I was dealing with earlier, that's for sure. I'm hoping that the new ground effects in CJ4 wasn't too massively changed. We'll be able to have the aircraft no problem. Worst case scenario, we just have a bit of a bumpy landing. A few things maybe going around as well, but we'll see. It's a quick plane, Kingslayer. It's a very quick plane, this. Especially on the climb outs. Very nimble. Well above everything else. Then again, we're at Mach 0.74. Usually about Mach 0.82 in the 320. This is CJ4, yes, Harry. This is CJ4. And as for de-icing, it is active, but it's never truly worked in Flight Sim. Not where my yoke was hidden there, but bringing the yoke back. Zürich House Online, very nice. We'll be sure to speak to them later on. Still avoiding French airspace, therefore I'm still going to try and avoid that. 118.1. Good chance to check out the ATIS on that side, see if they're going to give us a different runway for arrival. Let's have a look. Zurich Tower, runway for arrival is ILS 28, which is what we've got filed in our flight plan. Perfect, so runway 28. Rather Bravo Lima Mike to Zulu approach. Now, call sign in Netjets Europe is fraction, so fraction 24. Fraction 24 today. Now, PC's never crashed playing Microsoft Flight Sim, but it just wants to die when you go to any Netjets city. Yeah, like I say, it always comes down to tweaks whatever you can do. In my case, I'm at extremities. It runs better than expected, or it runs so much worse than expected. Now, can't you fly 747? Autopilot doesn't work, it bounces up and down. I've not had a problem with the 747 BizJet. And I've certainly had no problems with the Salty 74. The Salty 74's worked very well for me to date. But, you'd have to check your climb performance in that one. Not sure, Transport fan. Best speak to a Sobo. I'm not a help desk. You look like me, your age, descent, and fine gentleman. Sorry, decent fine gentleman. Cheers, Daniel. Thank you for the kind words. 21 years old. Volanta next. So Volanta is a flight tracking and logger for Flight Sim. So basically, it allows you to follow your flight plans, follow your paths. I'll go to my flights page. It shows you all of your historic flights you've done in the past. So, for example, my latest flight was QF22, which is the trip from Tokyo to Sydney. Just going to talk back slightly. So yeah, keep tracking your flights. Check your aircraft as well. All the aircraft flown in the Flight Sim before. Overall, gives you a very good presentation of your simulator. It's like Flight Sim Toolkit Pro and Projects Fly, but it's new. Doesn't have so much the flight planning phases, but it's a very smart in regards to how it actually shows your data. Moving on the map to 200 miles now. I do plan to start our descents relatively soon, around there. When the airport is, will start descents maybe 2,000 feet per minute. Wind throttle back and hopefully should post the aircraft in towards the airports. I'll check the weather again, make sure that it's still clear on the arrival. The answer is yes. Clouds visibility okay. Still 1 knot winds variable. 1 degree centigrade, dew point -1. QNH 1021 correction. So weather's looking absolutely optimal right now in the north of Switzerland. Any good international airport pair free airports? For a freeware travelographer, look at Gatwick. Gatwick scenery is fantastic. Payawares, I'd like the Denver scenery for Flight Beam. Yeah, Copenhagen's pretty good as well. Copenhagen's pretty good. UK 2000 Newton, I like it. I do like UK 2000 Newton, that's pretty good. Guysim's everything basically, so I've got their Berlin, Tegel and Vienna. Fantastic airports, absolutely adore how they look. Simwings Munich is probably my favourite airport in Flight Sim right now, with its full 3D terminal interiors and fancy graphics throughout. It's a heavy airport to load, but if you can get into there, it's a pristine terminal, seriously. And yeah, just there's a few good sceneries out there. There's a few very good sceneries out there, which the Flight Sim, as good as it looks, does help with it. Does help massively, does assist with how it all comes together. Anything Orbex yet? Well, these are the Orbex. You've got to remember there's a lot of partners now as well. Midwest Aviator. So Orbex and partners, their stuff is pretty good. So Guy, for example, is a partner for Orbex. Their stuff's on their websites and Launcher. And also Guy Sim works on a lot of these updates as well. So Guy works on both the USA update for Flight Sim and the UK update as well for airports and landmarks. Welcome back, Greg. How you doing? Not doing too bad. How you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat. So far so good, a little bit bumpy moments here and there. But that, that's the aircraft size. You've got to remember that we are in a tiny little tin can this. Got a max capacity of 9 passengers plus a flight attendant plus 2 pilots. So I've got a max capacity of 12 people. And it's, well, very susceptible to any bad weather, so you'll be very careful of that. Fortunately landing in Zürich today, so it's going to be pretty much perfect. The reason I like the Longitude over CJ4 is the Longitude has auto throttle. Yes, Longitude does have auto throttle. CJ4 is manual operation. On the other hand, the CJ4 is a much cheaper aircraft to both buy and operate. How did I start the channel? I started the channel in 2016. I started re-uploading videos. 2016, so about 5 years ago now. Yeah, you got CJ4 antenna, which is the little cable from the roof of the aircraft up to the tail. That's for high frequency radio, and allows pilots to communicate with ground. HF radio is that antenna that sticks out the back of the aeroplane. Whoops, press the escape by accident. Yes, we have got the announcements paired up there. Very good indeed. Very good indeed. Built into the lower menu there. Or the lower upper menu. There we go. Hang on, nope, it is upper menu. Still learning basics. Right, so scroll down. Head over to passenger brief. Why is that? We'll say that we are now, oh no, passenger safety brief, we'll do that. Oxygen mask, we need to, I'll just say turbulence. Let me say it again, we've played it once, maybe we'll let you play it again. But we have gone through the announcements, we have gone through all the chatty bits as well. And we are combining it with PACX, so PACX is running. Yeah, I've got all that running in the background as well, which again looks very good indeed. Empty seats right now, cabin crew, walking around the aircraft doing their thing. Each bit at the front. And just kind of works out from there. In real life, not aircraft flight. Have you had the opportunity for a future eclipse? I'd love to do a private trip one day. Would absolutely love to kind of have the entire plane to myself. Something to kind of look around and enjoy with. Sadly, I don't quite have that money to go private, so we'd have to go commercial from this on point. But what can you say? If you can afford to go private, it's an experience. It's very much an experience. How do you CJ4 to fly on this? It's not difficult, Richard. Like the X-Project, it gives you much more realistic flight systems to play around with. But, well, it's on the basics. It's not a difficult airplane to fly, the CJ4. Very nimble. If you're too harsh on controls, it will punish you for it. Make sure you're not going too harsh on the aeroplane. No, Mark, I'm not a real pilot. I'd love to be one day, but sadly it's not a thing I can quite afford to do. I'd like to do a private license at some stage. I'd like to do a private license in the future. Not right now with COVID, that's for sure. But at the moment, the answer is no. I am not a pilot. Do you think X-Plane or Microsoft is better? So Microsoft Flight Sim visually is the best platform travelographer. But when it comes to both flight dynamics and aircraft systems, X-Plane still stays in the top position. I'm sure as time goes on, the sim matures and the aircraft gets better in Flight Sim, things start to move around. But at the moment, X-Plane's by far the most realistic on the controls. The flight dynamics are fantastic, but blade element theory. And yeah, it's just overall a very good platform, X-Plane. There's a route between Dusseldorf and Luxembourg. There's a private for 250. 250 watt flight fan, and which aircrafts? The vaccine's all over the UK, Team Money. The vaccine's all over the UK. I'm not in the age bracket to get it. Right now, it's kind of it's right now in the UK. It's 50 plus and NHS and care workers, but it's reaching more people. It's slowly around the UK. Has the vaccine? Yes. So you've had the best and worst experience in real life for CJ4. Best because you flew it. The worst. Okay. Worst case, it was an air ambulance. I remember watching like a BBC document. It was a BBC or ITV, Channel 4. It was like the world's worst landings thing, something like that. And there was one clip where it was talking about how they're in a private jet, but the reason they got into a private jet was because they shattered their leg and need to run to the UK for medical attention, and it was all what's it called? Their insurance covered the ride back to the UK. It was on the private jet. So I remember watching stuff like that. Yes, we're on mobile right now. We are just to the where are we? Airways, that's us there. So we're just kind of trudging along the French-German border, just past through Luxembourg, and we'll soon was direct to Zürich. Strasbourg to our left-hand side. Yeah, pathing in. We'll shortly get ready up on our arrival in. So, like I say, Bravo, Lima, Mike to Zulu for I-28. Yeah, over the way with now. ILS 28. BLM to Zulu. Transition. Do we have a transition? Via Ritax, hopefully. No, but we've got to relax. How's that look on the flight plan? There's what plan, that's fine. So if we look at the plan mode, in fact, use that plan. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we'll accept that. Execute. We will go to our radios. Make sure that the wireless is plugged in correctly. 110.0, and that's the case. NSZH. And we're into loads. So yeah, the Zürich ILS for runway 28 is 10975. We'll confirm that on the FMS again. One 10975. But that's set that for nav 1, set for nav 2 as well. Case. Hopefully, when we're ready to hook onto the ILS, we can straight into that. Well, the CJ4 is a real plane, Sarah. This is a flight sim. Right, we're going to start our descent now, so reduce throttle to around the centre point. Go to light level climb, or set speeds to, hang on, speed altitude there, so setting altitude to an intercept of, get on the flight plan, and so 5,000, runway, so yeah, 5,000 we'll set that to. That's then sets the vertical speed on a descent rate of around 1,800 feet per minute. So again, manage just the throttle, so the aircraft from going in too fast. Work our way down from there. Is there a mark streaming capacity? Yes, it is, flight plan. Yes, it is. IVAO do ask you to stick streamers. Yeah, basically it allows you to go with a few concentration things. So, for example, if I don't notice I'm entering an airspace, then they'll drop me a message say you're entering this airspace, and as you get through the airspace, any problems. Can't take long. Going on flight tomorrow. Very nice. You enjoy it, Charlie. Why don't you use VNAV to descend? Does it work? Works. We'll use it. What has Aerosoft given you the access to? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, I do know those websites. AKK.li is another one that's also the trial links. It does not work because you're using it wrong. Thought so. Worst case scenario, we'll stick it at 1,800 feet per minute descent on the aircraft do its work from there. Top percent is actually marked on the FMS, on the aircraft, must point out. TFDi is on there, so probably stop percent momentarily. Actually wait until we hit the correct marker. VNAV working as it does in flights in Title CJ4, it does get marked out for you. Very smart little aircrafts. Will you do more streams this week? We'll see, Don. This weekend we'll definitely do the normal 2 streams, and then tomorrow we might do train sim. Might do train sim tomorrow, we'll see. Do you think flight fares are expensive? I don't think so. I disagree with that statement because, well, if you're looking at Orbex Travelographer, you need to remember that on Orbex it's Australian dollars, not American dollars, Australian dollars. 28 AD is about 14, 15 pounds, something like that. You need to remember, check the currency you're paying in. It's not American dollars, it's Australian dollars. You just wait until the aircraft picks the 3-degree glide path, which just remove restrictions to the OTC. Just use VNav in a sense to your AF. So how does one check if the aircraft picks up the 3-degree flight path? Our altitude down to 5,000, which will be the intercepts for the glide slope. Yes, it is at Zürich. We speak to them later. It's Zürich Tower, so we won't really speak to them until we intercept the glide slope. Yes, that's clearance for landing. Yes, flight plan, you're offering the F1 calendar, you said. Is that doing it now? Is that descending correctly? 182 is holding it. Increase speed, it'll increase the descent rate around that. We're going to not aircraft nosedive. Oh yeah, you got the arc as well. Where the descent will be. Yeah, no worries, Chris. Thank you for your help today. You've been a star, thank you very much. Still a lot to learn, still a lot to kind of learn the basics with, but I'm sure I'll get there. The CJ4 aircraft I'd love to show a lot more in the future at some stage, and so yeah, something we could definitely play with more in the future. And that's 250. Crosswell for descents. Like I say, it's more, I don't know how to make it on its own, and therefore I'm kind of just doing it based on whatever I know, which is not much with the aeroplane. This is ground speed at the top. This is airspeed. You're looking at two different measurements, T-Money, ground speed and airspeed. Ground speed is there, 370. True airspeed, 367. Get the hour frequency ready to tune in, which is going to be 10, was it 10? 118.1. I'll that into there later. Okay, so the altitude you want to descend and have VNav enabled, it will descend on its own reach percent marker. Well, I've changed it now because, well, vertical flight level climb. Level climb, is there something I'm missing? Got D pitch, pitch. There's a certain mode I'm missing, which enables the aircraft to do that. Notice that fashion dropped a bit now because the aircraft is technically nose down at 10-degree pitch. A lot for me to learn this aeroplane. A lot for me to learn. I'll just cancel your descent right now because it's top percent moving out. Right, we'll cancel descent. For that, on flight level climb. Sorry, we'll go for V speed and it's at 0. Right, that will hold us at 0. That'll hold our altitude. Zoom in a bit. Get towards that top percent marker. There we go. At around 20 miles. reach our top percent marker and then we'll I hope what's the V-speed at 0. We'll see. We'll see. That's the story of my life. 12.5 miles to go now until top of descent. Just toggle VNav off and on again just to be sure. There you go. So it's now choosing altitude, path, VVS at 0 right now. Just see what happens, I guess. I think it's a beautiful aircraft in real life. Well, like I said, I'd like to experience it one day, perhaps in a bit more of a less painful way. Head on with the call sign. So, November Juliet Echo is the call sign for Netjets Europe. The call sign itself is fraction, and then 24 is a trip from Northolt to Zürich. So Netjets Europe 24. Right, so come to that marker now. It's the moments of truth. Will it allow us to do it, or have we been punished for not understanding the aircraft's positions? Yeah, the path has disappeared and reappeared when we recycled it. Hope it's not lost. Start flashing. Now hit Amy, like left hand side on this waypoint of Bravo Lima Mike. 13 miles for that. Seems quite tight this. 20,000 feet in about 50 miles, we'll see. Now top descend, there you go. It is flashing and it's descending. Okay, it's doing it. It's doing it. Very smart. Very smart from the work title team. Continue descent, we'll follow the 3-degree path down. And follow all the way down to descent. Very nice. Well, cheers to that, Andy. Much appreciated. Appreciated indeed. The weather's not been too bad as well. Altitude cloud, but relatively clear down below. Few clouds dotted around. Well, it's pretty clear in Zürich right now. Yeah, top percent in Microsoft Flight Sim is a feckin' miracle. I think Airlines Live there pretty much sums up exactly how it all goes. Where'd you find the call sign number? Well, Wikipedia has all your ICAO codes, same as what's it called? Airfleets.net. We'll continue descent. Let the aircraft do its own thing. We'll shortly passing through 22,000, so we can land out on short, not land out, sorry, the seatbelt sign. Passengers back to their seats. Continue adjusting the throttle. Aircraft can go on some descent path outs. Discontinuity. Ooh, hang on, let me quickly just double check there's no issues with that. So select you, stick it there. Not in database, come on. Because that's not in database when it's the next waypoint on here. There you go. Execute that. Clear the discontinuity and make the left hand turn. Not too bad, likes. Not too bad. In fact, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. People in chat's doing a very fine job at teaching me the CJ4. Hopefully next time we fly it, it'll be a relatively drama-free flight. I mean, this isn't a bad flight either. A few mistakes here and there, but generally not bad. Lots to learn. But hey, that's flight's an experience. You learn it, and eventually you become a pro at it. There are passengers today who are also flying in comfort. I'm not finding the flights too particularly bad. A bit shaky at times. With 87% satisfaction, going to go up again. Work out quite nicely for us. We'll turn the seatbelt sign back on. Someone's never turned off, I see.
May I have your attention, please? The captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelt and shoulder harness.
How long do we land? About 23 minutes, Kingslayer. 23 minutes. At the bottom of the screen it counts down.
The flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please adjust your seat fasten your seatbelt.
Passing through 20,000. I still feel that we're a bit... Well, what's that? 50 miles to the airport. 50 miles, 20,000? No, that's actually quite accurate, I'd say. Yeah, what's that? The approach speeds now into the performance page. Got the METAR already picked for the flight plan, so we're looking at right now. Variable winds at 1 knots, clouds visibility okay, 1 degree centigrade 0.0, QNH 1021. So plug that in now. We'll say, well, runway heading is 28, so 280 at 1. Temperature is 0 degrees centigrade. Sorry, it's 1 degree centigrade. QNH is 1021. I don't know if that quite does it in hexapascals. We may have to convert it. Oh no, it does it. 1035. Perfect. The altitude is set there. Runway length sets. That's all looking good. Next page, we'll get the VRF speeds in. Send that across. That's all locked and set. If only the A320 could do this. I believe the A320, or the A320X team and Working Title have got some sort of partnership going on. Therefore, you never know. Time will tell. Time will certainly tell with the each of the aeroplanes. Yeah, 27 inches do fine VJ. 27 inches do perfectly alright for flight sim. The resolution that matters the most. Check the resolution. Down to 5,000 for ramen. And then work our way down from there. So the top percent is available for the CJ4 only at this stage. It's part of the Working Title mod, and therefore only the Working Title CJ4 has top percent, nobody else yet. But in the future, Cessna aircraft, especially modded aircraft, also include that as part of their aircraft setup as well. ABAC, very nice link, likes. Oh, good luck to you. Hopefully we'll be flying with you soon in Flight Sim. No Sir Hingle, we fly an IVAO. The A32NX, is it top of descent or is it a drag indicator, the D for decel? So I was told that was a deceleration marker, not top of descent. No likes, the 77 Max is not in Microsoft Flight Sim. We don't talk about the Braddock here, it's an absolute cash grab and not worth your time. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. I've never seen the top percent marker. I've seen decel, but not the percent. So I want to share one thing. If I switch nav to local, yeah, we can switch to localizer. We're close to the airport, and that will allow us to fly to the airport later when we actually reach it. Not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. We'll tune Zürich Tower now. 118.1. Guess I was ready to start talking to them. We need to.
Willkommen in Zürich, taxi via Echo 7 and November to the gate Alpha 48.
So that's we don't really speak to these guys until we hit the
Alpha 48 via Echo 7 and November 8.
the localizer. Until then, we're on our own. We'll set the altimeter now to 1021. That over and done with.
Hotel Wind countdown, way to clear plan. Way to clear to that Hotel Lima Hotel.
This is why I love being streams, Drawyah. Discord streams, you having a small sim you can use them. Oh yeah, absolutely fresh flag. I mean, like I say, even I don't know what's going on at the moment. I'm presuming the standing to be absolute catastrophe. But if one of you guys in the chat telling me what to do, I'd have nothing on this. I'm a little concerned about this approach actually. Why do we go to Ramen, which is between us and the airports? That's a problem. Can we fly direct to 33 Delta Mike? Ooh, that's a problem. We need to descend now. Okay. We'll do a quick loop. Lead us on this altitude, and then we'll try again for the approach, because that looks a bit off right there. Just note that the Ramen point for some reason is beyond the airport. Or brings back in again, so we'll circle around, do this altitude, and land 1,000 feet, landing lights on, and any flag lights middle of the daytime.
Please also store any carry-on items either in the back pocket or under the seat cushion. Please complete all Wi-Fi related tasks and stow any larger electronics.
What happened? So the flight plan approach that we had on the FMS stuck a waypoint beyond the airport to backtrack ourselves for runway 28, which didn't quite make sense. So we're going to loop around basically and come in again for the runway 28. In fact, which runway is runway 28 at Zürich? Might have to replan this entire arrival quickly. Runway 28 is... yeah, that's what I thought. So we're actually going to have to manually put our aircraft in. It's a long way around. That's awkward, that.
Hello there, Tower. This is Speedbird 722 with you established ILS 28. Speedbird 722, Zürich Tower, good evening. Continue approach number 1 with calm.
It turns out the VNAV actually corrects leading the VNAV won't work. What's the issue with the VNAV there? There's an issue with our flight plans, our navigation HODs. Our navigation waypoints, sorry. There's runway 28 on the far side of the airport. But what the flight plan was telling us is to overfly the airport, do a 180, and then return back to ourselves, which is not going to work. So we'll manually vector around the airport, spot Zürich from my left-hand side, and then we'll bring the aircraft into land. In fact, there it is. There's our destination, and Zürich 28 is that runway right there. A bit bumpy. Obviously, it is a bit bumpy right now.
Hotel Lima Hotel, confirm she is Vector 1. Affirm, Hotel Lima Hotel. Hotel Lima Hotel, taxi to the GS Vector 1 via Alpha on the merci just touch and go, Shinobi. Taxi Alpha to elevation, Sector 1, Shinobi out, dank dir. Hotel Lima.
Speed slightly. Not too much speed at this point. Runs 10 miles final for the runway 28. Cheers, Jack.
After landing, vacate to the left side. So runway 16 is an option to vacate. Winds calm, runway 28 clear to land. After landing, vacate to the left, runway 28 clear to land. Speedbird 72.
Ramen or Ramem? Ramem. Go back.
Stand by.
Come on, Drawyah, you're better than this. R-A-M-M. Input. Select. Execute. There we go, Drawyah. I think you've done that right. Yes, there you go. So we'll head... not quite right. We'll just do it. We'll just do it a bit manual at this point. We're not overspeeding, Marco. We're at 240 knots right now. Doing absolutely fine at this point. 5,000 for 33 Delta Mike DME, sorry, that's the arrival. 7 miles to the airport.
But fortunately I can't hear you, so please take the microphone.
I use a Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog BizJet, a Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. Yes, flies never really satisfied. Champagne was bubbly, I heard. Here's what it is. 87% satisfaction. I'm sure we can try to get that a bit higher with the touchdown as well. Slightly early landing, always appreciated. Speed on top is ground speed, Marco. Speed on top is your ground speed. Ground speed is 260, 259. True airspeed is 237. Airspeed about 216. No hurry, I do not have dev mode enabled. It kills your flight logging, so I'm happy to risk a bit of icing for that. We'll switch over to the localizer mode so that we can actually track the localizer for the runway. We're ready to establish. Yes, we're using mods. We're using the working Title CJ4 add-on for Flight Sim. Working Title CJ4. We'll pop open FlightControlReplay so that we can enjoy the terrible landing we're about to have.
Vacate Alpha Foxtrot. Seatbelt 722, welcome to Zürich. Taxi via Foxtrot and inner gate Alpha 1, correction, Alpha 15.
Hello Tower, this is Speedbird 2210 on final to runway 28.
Seatbelt 2210, Tower, good evening. After landing, vacate to the left side. Runway 16 is an option to vacate. Winds calm, runway 28 clear to land.
Speedbird 2210, vacate to the left side, landing runway 28.
Right, let's make a right hand turn. Just going a little bit faster now. Speed back.
Speedbird 722, confirm you have copied your taxi instructions. Could you repeat the taxi instructions first, Speedbird 722? Speedbird 722, of course, turn next left,
That's one.
then gate Alpha 15.
Confirm runway 2.
Next left is turn Alpha 15, Speedbird 722, many thanks.
Answer is yes, let's to wait to the news.
Hello Tower, this is Speedbird 2210, just confirming that you want me to vacate to the left on runway 28?
Speedbird 2210, affirmative. After landing, vacate to the left side.
0, altitude down to 5,000 or manually. Let's go through this next bit. One 5. Get ourselves established and prepare ourselves now for landing. Very pretty this. Very pretty indeed. So how do you stop properly in the plane without reverse thrusts? Brakes. Brakes and speed brakes. Is the ATC the same person? Feel like the ATC voice the same people? You can actually check who the ATC is using the IVAO web eye. I believe this is going to be someone else. Yeah, I'm looking at the name right now of this person, and I don't recognise the name. It's not someone I've had in the past. So here's our approach mode, 5,000 feet, so you're going to hold at. Just got to wait for the intercepts now. As soon as we intercept, the approach localizer for that.
Speedbird 2210, welcome to Zürich. Taxi via Lima, hold short runway 34 for crossing. Speedbird welcome to Zürich.
I'm not interested in this plane, Jimmy, because I barely know how to fly it myself. Still early days for the CJ4 for me. Still early days, still learning the systems. I'm sure I've made a few operational errors that I need to learn.
Sorry, can you repeat
But
that?
that's just the look at the trade. Just learn the basics.
Via Lima, hold short runway 34 for crossing.
Just waiting for the right hand turn now.
Seabird 2210, taxi via Lima.
Doesn't appear. We'll just manually turn for the runway. Not worked, I don't think, so yeah, we'll do it manually. So right hand turn. Ah, there you go. Let's come alive. Perfect. See, I have self-doubt. I have self-doubt sometimes, but eventually the aircraft knows what it's doing. Hello there, Zürich Tower. This is fraction 24, establishing ILS runway 28.
Fraction 24, Zürich Tower, good evening. Please take this course to 12034.
Second, sorry, fraction 24.
Fraction 24, please take this course to 1204.
1204 for fraction 24. Oh boy, this is going to be a bit of a tricky one, is it? Whoops. Trim, still learning it. Still learning it. Bit above the glide path, but we'll manage it. Need to set that's the transponder to 1204. Go. Slowly work around the aircrafts.
Fraction 24, and now please hit this clock to mode Charlie. Thank you very much. Fraction 24, after landing vacate to the left side, runway 16 is an option to vacate. Wind calm, runway 28 clear to land.
Clear to land, vacate to left for fraction 24. Getting there in the end. We're getting there in the end. It's a very backwards way of doing things. Satisfaction has dropped massively now, probably because our approach is not exactly... There's not really much of a nose down approach to that, but passengers don't like it, obviously. I'll learn. I'll get there. I'll learn. Right. Let's prepare ourselves for a landing, shall we? Speed slightly, make sure that we're on the reference speeds. Joystick, I use a Thrustmaster Warthog, Ingle. Thrustmaster Hotas Warthog.
Crossing runway 34, approved. Go via link 4.
Seatbelt 2210 on the other side, continue via link 3 and inner to the gate Alpha 15.
Via link 3 India and then gate. Sorry, I'll get back.
Bridge looking stable. Low cloud around the far side of the runway, that shouldn't cause any problems. The private terminal for Zurich is on the near side for us right now, so just where the tower is, it's about there, the private terminal.
Seabird 2210, just holding while I quickly confirm that I've understood the taxi. Thank you. Link 3, inner gate A15. Thank you, tower. Seabird 2210.
Correct.
Right, let's do this. It's not my straightest approach either. Bit above the glide slope. Are working on it. Small turn to the right, 500. Come on. Throttle idle and touchdown. Speed brakes out. The wheel brakes. Bad. Not bad at all.
Hello Tower, speedbird 2210. Is it left here? Right here, sorry.
Zurich. The local time is 1:40.
Speedbird 2210 affirmative, just next to the company aircraft.
Now use your mobile device.
Speedbird 2210, thank you Tower. Have a good day.
Vehicle sign is turned off.
Thank you, wish you the same, bye bye.
Overhead bins, as items may have
Right, runway vacated.
If this is your
Flaps
final
up.
destination, we thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth
Fraction 24 is clear of runway.
Fraction 24, welcome to Zurich, taxi via Foxtrot and inner to the stand India 03.
Down Foxtrot and inner for stand India 03 for fraction 24. Thank you very much.
Correct.
Pull up. We'll head down Foxtrot, which is actually a bit of a different direction I was expecting, but we can deal with that. So go straight on. And then take the inner 03. So actually no, that's for us. Make a left. At the fire truck get in front of us. This lays to the ground. That fire truck looks massive. We'll turn off landing lights and taxi lights, and off the strobe lights, and leave on the beacons up towards 03. A fair few planes today. It's Zurich got 2 Rich Airways aircraft, Star Alliance. It right towards the end. We're on IVAO. Seeb, we're on IVAO, not VATSIM. Well, stand 03. That's giving us one of the proper BizJet stands, I see. Yeah.
Fraction 24, you missed the India stand, but that's no problem, you can take any stand of choice on your left hand side now.
Roger that, stand choice any on the left hand side for fraction 24. We'll just take at the very first stand that appears on our left. I've noted that Volanta doesn't show the Zurich stands. Just everything else. Right. More position. Set. Engines off. Close the shields.
Zurich Tower, hello,
Turn
Swiss
off.
167,
Off lights, turn off the beacon lights.
I could request clearance to Florence.
Seatbelts off.
Swiss 167, 4 towers in the
Hear the warnings.
clear to Florence.
Very shortly, passengers disembark the airplane. I presume there'll be a bus on the way to bring passengers to the terminal, so I'll let them do that.
Initial climb 5,000 feet and squawk 3.
To an end. It wasn't my best flight, I would admit. It wasn't my best flights.
Trip Florence.
We're first going to CJ4 after several months of not flying it, apart from, again, my own press flights earlier on. You can't fault that, really. You can't fault it. At least me personally, I very much enjoyed this one. The door's not an option on the CJ4, can't open this door, I'm afraid. We've got fuel truck, jetway and tug if we need it. Apart from that, hang on, did that not set the parking brake? Double check it. Stop the replay from recording. In the background, we will make sure the parking brakes are set. Still can't say that's fine, so we'll leave it at that. We'll disconnect from, or end PACX, we'll end the flights, and then start ending our flight now. So 1 India 24, CJ4 from Northolt to Zurich. There's 1 hour 20 minutes in the end of 1 hour 20 flights. The planned departure was 21:30, planned departure 21:18, planned arrival was 22:50, arrival 22:47, so pretty much on time today. We had 7 passengers on board, 80 user satisfaction with landing rate of 111, plot time of 1 hour and 37 minutes. A few extreme flying conditions, that'd be just me kind of learning the aircraft's method of flying. There's a long way to go with me in this airplane, but I'm sure I'll get there eventually. Recommend your work, landing was smooth. Our passenger list on our right. I'll drop the flight report in the chat if you want to look at it in more detail. And disconnect from IVAO, load up the replay, and have a look at it from the landing point of view. Right. Next, thank you, Zürich. You're a star today. Let's open up the replay mod, latest flight plan at 2051, and load. Give it a few seconds to bring it all up. Flight. Go away. Go away, overlay. There we go.
Autopilot.
Right. Let's do it, shall we?
500.
I'm down to about 500 callouts when the aircraft was on its short. Why not? Scenery load up. And let's now press play. Yeah, we finished the flight, likes. We finished the flight. This is now just a replay. Yeah, again, this sim looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, this is just default water-gen scenery, nothing particularly fancy about it. But just the way it sets itself out in the entire sim viewing, it is beautiful. It is very beautiful. So yeah, passing through 500. Airport's just about visible now in the front view windows. Just about hear the engine in the background as well, as I'm slowly adjusting the throttle, keeping the aircraft up and level.
500.
The final call outs. Flying directly over Zürich. So beautiful to sim. So beautiful. I'm fairly sure in reality this is like the private bit of Zürich Stand 03 to be fair, the Alpha 03. Given for the parking spot earlier. Over the threshold. And touchdown. Not quite sure what's being now, be something in there. Yes, it is. Master caution not quite setting correctly. The replays don't quite load the systems up sometimes, but apart from that, it does show the just landing. Go to the right hand side of you now. Passenger in this seat, facing the other way, facing backwards for landing. Can't imagine backwards for takeoff and landing. Can't imagine what that would be like. Especially the G-force is acting with the other direction, not forced back into seat, but fast forward. How to keep it straight in butter? Practice, Lewis. Always practice. The runway. Very smooth glide in. And touchdown. God, it's Tony Stark cam. Sounds about right. Let's stick one more. We'll do a few external view landings now, so here's tail view, tail cam. Glide in and touchdown. So beautiful, so beautiful. Stick it back in a drone cam. We'll get away from the aircraft follow, and we will go over to the runway, I guess.
500.
Off in a moment, shoot overhead. Where is it? There it is. And touchdown. No winds, no nothing. Winds were calm actually, by the way. There was no winds, no nothing. Straight on in and touchdown. Love that. Press to the gate. So, that was the Title CJ4 mods. My trip from London Northolt to Zurich. I'm not perfect at the airplane, you can obviously tell that. There's still a lot more that I need to learn personally to control the aircrafts, but for a first flight in a little while, you can't really complain. I'm going to practice the airplane more, I'll learn the basics, learn the setups, and then work from there. No, Diego, there's no reverse thrust in the aircrafts, there's no reverse thrust in the CJ4. Yeah, so massive thank you guys in the chat who helped with the well, go through. I saw this aircraft, so Andy and Chris in the chat. Massive thank you to both of you too. So tomorrow, probably the train sim stream. Yeah, that all goes. On the upcoming weekend, we'll do a few more flights in the A20 and maybe try and do a 747 flight as well. We'll see. I'll try and practice more CJ4 maybe next week, next Wednesday, fly the CJ4 again. See how that all goes. And yeah, guys, see how that all takes us to from there. Once with a great document guide you can read. I'll check it out, Andy. I'll definitely check it out. As always, the instruction manuals mentioned the guys who make it themselves will always be the best place. Up to that information. So yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. Take care, and I shall see you again soon.